In this position in 2008, Super Grandmaster Levon Aronian calculates out mate in 15. Let's see what happens here. So in the game, the position is very complicated, and the opponent opts to play pawn to f4, attacking the bishop with the point that after it retreats, there's knight takes f2, forking the rooks. But Levon had foreseen this coming and had in mind the only winning move, knight to g5. Sacrificing the knight and coming with the immediate threat of queen to h7 checkmate. So you have to grab this knight, and that's what the opponent does. They grab the knight, but now the h file is open and we can play queen to h7 check, and the king has to go to f7. And now the king is out from its castle and we have to find a checkmating attack. And Levon opts for knight to e4, jumping in with his other knight and now coming with the threats of knight to g5 and knight to d6 check. But the opponent finds the best response and plays e takes d5, grabbing the pawn to prevent Levon from playing that on the next move. But now what do we do in this position? It looks like there's so many options. Well, Levon finds the most romantic one with pawn to e6, sacrificing the pawn and checking the king, with the point to bring the king into the middle of the board. You can't take with the queen because then there's knight to g5 check, winning the queen. So the opponent plays king takes e6, and now the king is walking into the middle of the board. And we continue with the simple queen takes g7, grabbing the bishop, but coming with the point of just controlling the 7th rank. And now this king is staying in the middle of the board. But we're giving black time to try to defend this position, and they find the best move again, with knight to f6, retreating with the knight as a way to shield the king. And now in this position, we've left this bishop hanging and sacrificing it for like 7 turns, but the opponent never had the time to take it. So Levon decides to sacrifice it on his own terms and plays bishop takes c5, sacrificing the bishop, attacking the queen and the rook. And the point of this move is to clear open the e file. So after knight takes c5 and knight takes c5 and the queen recaptures, now we have rook to e1 check and the king has to go to f5. And here's the position that Levon saw after knight to g5. And there's one winning move, and Levon finds it. He plays rook to h5, sacrificing the rook and coming with the immediate threat of rook to g5 checkmate. So after the knight takes the rook, the point is that now we have rook to e5 check and the king has to go to g4. And here Levon finishes it off with queen takes g5, queen takes h5, and now queen to e2. And the opponent resigns the game because after the king moves, we have rook to g5 check, king steps over, and queen to g4. Checkmate.